Welcome to this episode of Safari Lives, and we are with the beloved Mkuhuma pride. Some of them are missing, but there is contact calling going on, so I think the others are not too far off. There's the Talamati male, but I've only counted 8 Mkuhumas, and so that means there's 3 missing, but I'm sure they're not too far. There's also the 3 mangy Mhangeni males. Good afternoon, my name is Brent Leo Smith. I have Senzo Mkeys on camera, and we are taking an in-depth look at all our cat characters today on Safari Lives. This is very exciting to be with the Mkuhuma pride, who've been away for a little while. And actually last week on Safari Lives, they weren't too far away from here, if I remember. No, it was on SABC on Sunday. They weren't too far away from here. Just probably 200 or 300 meters from here. And there we are. So at the moment, there is complete confusion and upheaval with the male lions toing and froing out of our beloved Mkuhumas. So let's go have a look what happened last week. The Mkuhuma pride of lions feasted on a buffalo kill this week, allowing us to become more confused by their current dynamics. A usual meal with snarls and sounds. The Avoca male let one of the Mhangeni males share his meal, although still snarling. It was the lionesses who got the final snap. The mangy Mhangenis, much like the parasitic mite themselves, have stuck around the Mkuhuma pride. The lionesses do not tolerate touching, but are allowing the young males to be around. In contrast, the Mkuhuma sub-adult male still gets all the attention from his pride ladies. But the Talamati male seems to be getting quite comfortable with the pride too. Is there a future coalition in the making? Now, to be honest, none of us can explain what's happening. Avoca male feeding next to mangy Mhangeni, Talamati worming his way into the pride, and those 3 poor mangy Mhangeni males living off scraps that the pride give them. Now, the Talamati male is in theory related to the Mkuhuma pride. The Talamati pride and the Mkuhuma pride come from the same place, so they are related. But it is unusual for this sort of dynamic to happen, where the young male is sort of basically forcing himself onto another pride of females. And in this case, the poor Mkuhuma pride have 4 young males forcing themselves upon them. So very, very, very interesting times. The rest of the Talamati pride, where that one male comes from, are busy mating with Avoca males up in the north. We have a question from a Nico viewer wondering, can 2 male lion coalitions join? It is possible, but only when they're quite young. There's a very brief period where male lion coalitions form from the ages of about 2.5 to 4. Anything older than that, it's very unlikely that they will form a coalition. It is possible, but very, very unlikely. Mka would like to know whether I think the Mkuhuma females are immune to mange. No. If you look carefully on some of the females, Mka, they're already starting to show signs of mange. Let's have a look here carefully, quickly. As soon as those manky Mhangeni boys get up, the females will often growl and snarl at them. But Mka, and there is signs of mange starting to show on some of the females of the Mkuhuma pride, which has happened over the last couple of dry seasons. They definitely seem to have a higher immunity to the sarcoptic mange mite. Now, for those of you who don't know what mange is caused by a little arachnid called a mite. It burrows into the skin, and the pussy lesions and holes that are on their bodies are actually caused by the lions having an allergic reaction to the mite itself. So it causes the hair to fall out. The mites are also an immuno inhibitor, so it inhibits their immune system as well as inhibiting their appetite. So it is quite a problem for the lions to get it. Certain prides, like the Styx pride, are also heavily affected by it. But as soon as the rains come, it seems to clear up. And the fact that these these young boys have made it to this age already, it means they possibly are going to pull through once the rains arrive. Now, one must remember that mange is a naturally occurring element out here in the Sabi Science Game Reserve, and it is part of Mother Nature's controlling agents to ensure the predators' populations don't get too big during the dry season and really affect the prey populations. We are very lucky to have the Mkuhumas, even if they are lazy. They've been busy over the last few days, and they have chased the Styx pride off a buffalo kill, I think yesterday on Cheetah Plains. So they've been busy, so they're not too hungry. Bubble Girl would like to know whether lions with mange mate. Yes, it does happen sometimes. I can remember the Styx pride in the past, some of the females, while they were quite heavily infected with mange, mating with the Birmingham boys. So it is possible. It is unlikely, especially because the fact that it's an immunosuppressant and an appetite suppressant. You would think they wouldn't have enough energy for mating, but I have seen it happen, but it is, again, unusual. Although there seems to be nothing normal about the Mkuhuma pride and their antics at the moment with all the young males. Now, of course, these young males are not pride for mating at the moment. I think they're more joining this pride for an easy source of food and safety. And the Avoca boys, although last week we saw an Avoca boy feeding with the Mkuhumas, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, especially as the wet season starts to come. Will these just disperse off on their own again, or will they stay with the Mkuhumas? In the meantime, let's send you back to Tristan, who's still chatting about our lovely leopards.